And we're live. Welcome in, everyone. This is Miss C's cottage. I'm Miss C, and this is the home of the Somebunny and all of you beautiful people, my dearly beloved. I welcome you in every Sunday so that you can bring your buckets and fill them up with love, because this is a safe place, a good place to be. And uh, and I love coming here because I get to be with my YouTube family, all of you, and I love you so dearly. I ask that you leave your problems and all your negative thoughts at the door, along with your shoes, and come on in. Grab a seat, something cold or hot to drink. There's usually a snack on the shelf. Pull out your project. Whatever you're working on is fine with me. And just relax and enjoy the next 2 hours, free of worry, free of care, and full of love. I welcome in Len and KK and Kayla and Rosie, my moon rose. Love that girl. And who else is here? Leanie. I can't get through a Sunday without Leanie and my Bonnie girl. And Tammy. Those three musketeers make my Sunday, I'll tell you that. And there's Kim G, whom I love so much. Kim, I don't know what to say. You brought me to tears. I got a happy mailbox, which I did not expect at all. And inside was a small Easter or no, it wasn't Easter. It was a small bunny ornament for Christmas. Well, Mr. Elmo does not put up a Christmas tree because he has not put up a Christmas tree because of the different people who have lived here throughout the time that he's had the home. He didn't want to offend anyone, so he never put up a Christmas tree. He did laugh sometimes and say, I don't put up a Christmas tree or a Hanukkah bush, and it all went off as that. But I'm hanging it this Christmas somewhere here in the cottage. In fact, I might do it beforehand just to remind me of the love that's out there on the streets. When I started this channel, I just wanted it a fun place to be. I looked at all the other people whose channels I admired and why I admired them. What made me go back to that channel? And for this one, it was the smile on the person's face. For this one, it was the way she looked right into the camera and made everyone feel like they were the only one she was talking to. Another one had fun and games on their channel. Another one, just so many different things. And I wrote them all down and I went back through them over and over again and I pulled out the ones that I wanted for my channel. If I'm going to start a channel, here's what I want. Here's what I want my channel to be. I want my channel to be a safe place that people can come for an hour or two and not have to worry about another care in the world. I want them to come in, whether they're upset, lonely, tired, apprehensive, fearful, whatever they are, I want them to leave with knowing that they are loved unconditionally. And I want them to take a bucket full of love with them so that when they meet people in their families or their circles of friends, that they can give those people a scoop of love from the cottage. I wanted to be sure that each and every one who wanted to make a Somebunny to give to someone or for themselves would have an opportunity to learn how, so that in time, everyone who needed to know that somebody loved them unconditionally would have that opportunity. I wanted it to be fun, not just a place to come and crochet, but to be fun. And so I initiated some games to play. Um, Michelle chose the name Pick Your Blessing for one of my games, a perfect name for a fun game in which you get to write down in the chat, if you win, what type of yarn you would like to win. And then we pluck the magic twanger and come up with the winner's name, and then you make me scramble in my cottage to find the yarn and the weight that you've chosen. And sometimes it's really tough, and I have to bring back 3 or 4 or 5 one time that that you choose from. The winner chooses from the stash that I have here, and that's a fun game. And somebody goes home a winner. I do ask that you only enter if you've not won for the month. So it gives everyone a chance to be a winner. Everyone is a winner on my channel, but a winner of yarn. I'm sure there's other things that I do on here that I can't remember right now, but I never expect anything back from any of you except your love and your appreciation, which I get in the channel every time I come on. There's no doubt that you love me as much as I love you. But once in a while, like last St. Patrick's Day, I got a special card from Jacqueline Marley from Northern Ireland, wishing me a happy St. Patrick's Day. Guess what? In the mail comes an Easter card from guess who? Jacqueline Marley. Praying you feel blessed this Easter. May you find hope and happiness in life's most simple things, and may the light and love of Easter stay with you wherever you go. Irish blessings to you this Easter, Miss C. Wishing you a truly blessed Easter. From Jacqueline Marley. Never expected, but greatly appreciated. And that wasn't the only happy mail I got. I got an I got a bunny ornament from Kim G, along with this. Do I have her story? Her story might be out by my chair. This is Violet. And Violet was a plant holder that Kim had. And Violet decided she didn't want to. I'm paraphrasing here, Kim, so correct me if I'm wrong because I don't have the note with me. And I know I didn't bring it in with Jacqueline's. No, it's probably still out there. Violet decided she didn't want to be there anymore. She wanted to come to my house. And so she jumped or hopped off the shelf. And you can see right here, I think you can, where she hopped so hard she bopped her head off. And she told Kim she wanted to come and live with me. So Kim made this with love. And what it is to hold all of my crochet hooks. And you just stick them in there. And they're at the ready. Is that the most marvelous thing? I absolutely love her. And the fact that she's made with love. And she goes right here. And I'm not moving. I'm not moving the screen. I'm not changing the camera today because we know what happened last time. Everything went poof and I was gone. Oh, Angela, I'm so glad you're doing well. And welcome, Pebbles, my favorite pea. And Denisha's here, and Gracie's here, and Jackie Belcher, and my Margie. Michael! Michael, look what I received in the mail. This is Violet, the bunny, and Kim G crocheted a cover for this basket that she had a plant in, and she planted like a rose kind of a thing in there to hold my crochet hooks. So now, whenever I need one, they're right there. I don't have to go scrambling for them or looking what the size is. I love it. She's got this pretty little apron on. She's just perfect. She's made in Thailand. Wow. Thailand used to be, I think I'm telling you right, Siam, right? The king and I. That's pretty special. Anyway, I love it. That is beautiful. And it's made with love. That makes it even more beautiful, Michael. All right, today, what are we doing today? We're going to finish up our monkey today. We are, if we have time, we're going to take a look at the giraffe because Nisi from Freehandly Made AU is making and sending some things to the Watson Children's Shelter in Missoula, Montana, where she lives near. But their mascot is the giraffe. So she asked me, could I teach her how to make a giraffe? And I said, yes, we're going to finish the monkey up and we're going to make a giraffe. So if you'd like to make a giraffe with us or a giraffe blanket, let's see, do I have that in here? Nope, that's something else. Nope, that's something else. Nope, that's something else. Yeah, this actually is going to be a giraffe, believe it or not. He's going to be a blue and cream giraffe with spots. This is made out of that menagerie, the sale yarn from Joann's. I think he's going to be a beautiful, beautiful giraffe. Here's another giraffe that I have not squared off yet. I think I have 4 of these going. Yep, here's the third one. I like this yarn. This is going to be a 4-weight. So I think this is another. No, this is a multi. Eversoft, Premier's Eversoft. This is really similar, I find, to Simply Soft. Simply Soft. Karen's yarn. I don't care for Karen's yarn. I find it splitty. My sister-in-law loves it. She just loves it. That's all she works with. Well, pretty much all she works with. But I think he's going to make a very nice giraffe. I am sending out a giraffe to not a giraffe, yarn to make one, to Eileen, Leanie, my sister Eileen, and Barbara gets the monkey yarn that's being mailed off this week, hopefully this week. Anyway, I hope you're ready. Yes, parrotfish, that's right, Michael. I didn't know whether I really wanted a menagerie when I went to Joann's sale, but I am so glad that I got it. Yeah, Margie, that's the parrot fish menagerie, Joann's. There's my Bonnie girl with her ruler. Hit those thumbs, leave your epithelials. Denisha, I'm so glad you're here, sweetheart. And Janet Egan. Yes, your heart is with the happy hats for veterans. How many have you made now? I love you too, my sister Eileen. Mac! Hello, hello, hello. Mac just sent me a picture of her grandson. My gosh, he's almost a year old. He's getting so big. He's just beautiful. And there's Barb and Gloria. Good morning, Glory. Need to know. You know what I did? I made a new mouth. So hold off on your mouth and I'll show you the new one, okay? And is it in here? If not, why isn't it in here? I want to make one more, and I want to make it with this yarn. Because I think this will be a really pretty one. But I did make a new one, and I like it much better. And I'm not finding it in the drawer, so it must be out somewhere. But it's not as oval, because when you look at a giraffe, they don't have an oval muzzle. They have a round muzzle. So I made the second one, and I don't think I did double crochets. Hey, Izzy. You did respond. Okay, good. I just got really confused, Izzy, and I wanted to clear it up. That's the whole thing. Because my brain is not what it used to be. And sometimes it plays tricks on me. And I remember things that never happened, and I don't remember the things that did. So when things like that come up, it's like I go to the source and I say, hey, what's up? And that's what's up. What's up? Just another stitch. That's Connie. If you haven't been over to Connie, she's got a new hopping giveaway for Easter. So go over there and sign up. And there's Regina and Zoila's here. Hello, hello. And there's Gabriella. That woman she is a godly woman. You need to go check her out. She has several channels, the Gardener Scrolls, and she has one for children too, which is really cool. The pattern is her own. She just sits there and whips them up. Oh, you're welcome, Connie. I told you I would. Then there's Sunitha. I'm so glad you're here today. In fact, let's pick a blessing. Do you want to pick a blessing right now? I think that this is a good time to pick a blessing because all of my favorite people are here, and you will all get an opportunity, unless you've already won in April. You'll all get an opportunity to get a blessing today, a yarn blessing. So, Sunitha, if you will mark the channel, we'll begin, and you can put down. Just put blessing. Just put blessing, and right, we'll give you a chance. When Sunitha marks the channel, then put in the color of yarn you'd like and the weight of yarn that you would like. I cannot guarantee that I can give you the color and weight, but I will search the cottage until I come close. And then I'll give you a couple selections that you can choose from. And um, if you don't like those, I'll go hunting again. I have water today because I went to lunch with Jenny on Thursday and I coffeeed out. I think I drank almost two of the carafes of coffee. I think I had 4 cups, but I'm telling you, it was good. We went to the Olive Garden and there was a special going on. Eat your lunch and take one home for, I think it was like $14.99. I was just going to get the soup and salad, which was 12 something. But when I saw eat your lunch and take one home, and they were real lunches, they weren't soup and salad. Plus, when you went home, you got a soup or a salad and breadsticks with your take home. So I said, wow, for $2 more, I get another dinner. So that's what I wound up doing. And it was so good. Yeah, wait, please wait before you put yours in and only put it in one time and only enter um, if you've not entered, if you have not won anything in April. Sunitha has to get her computer up and running. Don P. Don P always makes me smile. She just is such a gentle person. I love her to pieces. And Emma Inzer, hello, hello. You can't stay? Well, maybe you can come back Wednesday or Friday at noon, or come back next Sunday at noon. We're gonna be working on a giraffe for the children's home out in Montana. So, Irma, welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm so glad you stopped by the cottage today. You come back anytime. You are always welcome. Kimmer, there's my Kimster and Michelle playing hooky. All right, you guys, we're gonna wait for Sunita to mark the channel. Oh, Bonnie said, "Go, go, go." I guess we go. Sunita's got the word up. You write blessings and your choice of yarn. The darkest of purple you've ever seen. Who made that purple, Michael? Oh, we're getting some colors through here now. Peach or purple? Ooh, peach is a new color for you, Dawn. Usually you pick purple. Well, as you guys come through, Paula Mulford, hello, hello. I see some challenges in here already. Not saying I hope you don't win, but if you do, if your name comes up, it'll be a challenge. You still looking for cotton, Kim? Izzy, you have to put in a color, blessings, a color, and a weight of yarn that you would like to win. Hirschner's, okay. Dementia, where? Oh, you know what, Michael? I think I need to go get tested. Hey, cousin D. I would ask you how you were, but I already know you're finer than frog hair cut 3 ways. D, we're right in the middle of a blessing choice, so if you want to put in pardon me. I made scones yesterday and I had a scone this morning and it's coming back. If you would like, Granny, cousin, put in the word blessing and your choice of yarn, weight, and color. You know the deal. You know the blessing game. And you haven't won anything in April here, so. Zoila, she always says, finer than frog hair, split 3 ways. Oh, Zachman, sneeze away. All right, well, cousin, it's just good to see you here. Penny, welcome to the cottage and blessings to you. Michelle, did I see? Well, you know, sometimes I don't get in this phone for days. See? There's another one. And another one. Yes, Michelle, I did. And I thought I sent back to you an answer because it just flashed back to 2023 in August when I got the same thing. And all is good, so you're covered. Sugar, hello. And there's Coley. No, it's Collie. I know, Zach, and I'm so sorry to make you wait so long. All right, I think that's it. Pluck your magic twanger, Froggy. You know that comes from Howdy Doody. Marlena Mater, welcome, and congratulations. And what did Miss Marlena choose to stump me with? You could also call it stump the host, but I think it should be pick your blessing because that's what we do here. And you see, everyone in the chat loves everyone in the chat, and they are so giving. I love it. Blessings for spring colored, multicolored. Spring multicolored. You guys are killing me here. A spring multicolored. Okay, let's see what we can find. A spring multicolored. Whoa. Oh, number 4, she said. Number 4. Oh, you just confused her. I like confusing people. Spring number 4. Oh, yeah. All right. Well, I've got 5. That's enough confusion for anybody, isn't it? Okay, thanks for the music. Uh-oh. Okay. It's warm and peaceful here when I came, but I try to make it a happy place because I need a happy place, and you all make my happy place. So in return, I try to make this cottage a happy place for you. Yeah, yeah. If you want to help with the shipping, because I got a pile. I got a pile of stuff to mail out. And actually, I think I think today, no, I think next week is when the government sends me my check and I can mail out. Okay, um, Marlena, I hope you got your thinking hat on because here we go. And then we got to get to this monkey because I want to finish this monkey. I'm going to start out with a Stylecraft Chromatic. This is a double knit though. This is a 3-weight yarn, okay? And it is 100 no, it's 80% acrylic and 20% wool. So there's two things against what you wanted. Um, you ask for springtime. I think this is a good springtime color with the pinks and the yellows and the greens for I don't like the way this camera's picking up, but I hate to move it because you know what happens when I move my camera, I lose everything. This is a 3-weight yarn. It's called Opulent Opal. And they try and trick you because opulent begins with OP and opal begins with OP. But opulent is different than opal. Opal is like open. Opulent is like opulent. Okay, so that's number one. Number two that I picked out is the Big Twist Value yarn. It is 269 yards in the colorway Warm Bright. And this is what I am making one of my um, Boggy Creek blankets out of. Margaret suggested that I try the Amish Ripple, and it's coming out very pretty. It was so tough to begin with because it's not like a normal ripple, but this one is a 4, and it is definitely the colors of spring. And then this is a Premier Basics multi. It is a 4 wasted. I got waste on my mind. This is called Lullaby, and it is 245 yards. It's a real pastel-y color. And then this is the premium um, um, Premier Basic Multi, and this is in Impressionist color. It's still a springtime color, but it's brighter than the pastels. And this one has 245 yards. It's a 5-ounce skein, and it is a 4-weight that you ask for. And then I have another 3-weight, and it's a dotty. And it's got the spring colors. This is another Premier yarn because you know I love Premier. And but this is a 3-weight. So you have 3 weights or 4 weights that you can choose from. So I ask you, Marlena, what is your choice? It is a hard choice. A number 4, please. Which number 4, Marlena? I'll put those 2 away and make it a little easier. Um,
She said
want
number 4, which is opulent, I believe. Wait, hold on. It was impressions, whatever impressions was. I think it was
whatever.
the blue one.
You want the big twist or one of the premieres?
You said one was in the color impression.
Impressions? Okay, that's this one. This is Impressionist.
Yeah.
It's the premier basic multi 245 yards, 4-weight worsted weight yarn. Okay, so
That's correct, Marlena?
this is the one?
That is
The premier
correct.
blue. Okay, that's it then.
Yeah.
All right, this one goes to Marlena. Okay, Marlena, you know what you need to do is Gmail me at misscottage@gmail.com ASAP, and I will get this out to you this week. And this goes over here in the to-go pile. All right, well that was a good one, guys, and it went off without a hitch. I like that. All right, since we're doing so well, let's stop monkeying around and do the monkey. Oh, wasn't that a dance? I don't think I want to go there. Guys, can you tell it's cool here this morning? Whew, it's cool here this morning. I think it's just got to 70. It was down 54 or 48 or something like that last night. It was too cold for me anyway. All right, I have my body. I have legs, a short leg and a long leg. Well, you got to have 2 of each, which we've done. We did the head last week, and I showed you how to do the eyes. So today we're going to do the ear and put the ear on. Yeah, Leni, I think it was a monkey. Do the monkey, but I'm not a dancer. So, wait, let me mark this down in my book. Um, and another thing I want to find out today is next Sunday is Easter Sunday. To my knowledge, I have nothing on my calendar for next Sunday. I don't know. A lot of you have families. Some of you don't have families. Denisha, hello, hello. And Rosie's here, my moon rose. Do you want to come to the cottage next week, or have you someone else to go? I don't know if I'm going to do my show next week, but I will if you guys want me to. Lenny will be here. Lana, you'll be here? And Jessica, hello, hello. Sanitha will not be here. She's doing family stuff. Kim will be here. Kimmer, I love you. Bonnie will be here. My Bonnie girl, Jeanette, will be here. Nana Cat has nowhere to go, and Jacqueline will be here. Sam will be here. Hello, Sam. Gabriella will be here. Sue Ann, welcome in. Jackie Belcher will be here. Oh, cousin, see, you're the family I have. And Regina will be here after church. Angela, okay, I will be here. That settles that problem. You have to go to work on Easter Sunday, Zach? Wow. And Sugar will not be here. She's going to spend time with family. That's fine. Oh, good, Margaret. Awesome sauce. You know where that comes from? Kimmer's bringing deviled eggs. Now, I have to ask you, do you put onion in your deviled eggs or do you just put mayonnaise and mustard? Is Christmas on a Sunday this year, Zach? Ooh, carrot cake's my favorite, Jessica. Do you make it with fresh carrots? And you don't put onions in it. Okay. I had never put onions in my deviled eggs, but I went to a Thanksgiving dinner with my sister-in-law's family, and her sister Susie, makes deviled eggs and puts onion in half and leaves onion out because some people don't like the onion, and I've never had an onion in mine before. So I tasted it and it was good. Oh, Cherry, you put pickle relish. And Cherry, I want to thank you for your comment from last week. I value your opinion highly, and guys, this is a little private, but it's going public. Um, Cherry made a comment, and I really took it to heart and thought about it, and I realized that she was right. So, um, thank you very much, Cherry, for loving me enough to stop me in my tracks and make me take a look at myself. Guys, don't ever let me get away with ugly. Please don't ever call me on it every time like Cherry did, because I greatly appreciate it. You sent your email. I thought I heard it come through, Marlene, or something did, but so thank you. And your address. Yep, that's what I need. But you use pickles. Okay, people put Now, see, I've never done pickles or pickle relish or anything like that in them either. I love you too so much, Cherry, and I value your opinion. Oh, Bonnie, everybody can be ugly from time. And I do have to tell you something that I'm really concerned about and not sure what to do about. But I went through CVS, the drive-through, and picked up my Happy Pills, a 90-day supply. I can't find them. I've looked in the car. I've looked in my bathroom. I've looked in the several um, project bags that I may have taken in the car with me. It's not in my purse. I don't know what I've done with it. And I have one left. And I didn't take it last night. I think I'm going to take half tonight and keep searching. At least I'll have tomorrow. I can take another half tomorrow. And then I don't know. I guess Monday I'm going to have to. I checked everywhere. I checked everywhere that I've known to check. And I probably am on the lowest dose of happy pills, and it's nothing. I'm not depressed, but in the beginning, when I first moved in to the home here, um, things were difficult for me. Moving is always a stressful thing, and I didn't know anyone, and I'm not ever been really good with going into a place where I didn't know, like a restaurant. I would never go to a restaurant by myself. And because I'm not sure of myself, boy, have I come a long way. And another thing is, the atmosphere here was could be sarcastic at times. I don't deal well with sarcasm. Sarcasm comes from the Latin word sarcazo. It's the same root word, scissors, and it means to cut. To cut. Sarcasm means to cut. And sarcasm is a form of biting humor, and I've never really understood it because I was never raised with sarcasm. I didn't understand it. And whenever I heard sarcasm, I thought it was a slight against me. I took it personally. I didn't realize it was a different type of humor. And Fritzster, hello, my Fritzster. Um, yeah, Denisha, I hope I find him too, because I don't want to get ugly. And that could very well be the start of something bad. But I'll keep looking. And Granny's a knitting. I got such a kick out of Dory. I got to get going on this. I got such a kick out of Dory. She went down to Granny's house to help her with her yarn so it wouldn't avalanche on her and cover her up in the chair, and we'd never find her again for weeks maybe, except when the hand came out to get a snack. There's my Dipsy Dory Doodles. But Bonnie, I don't see that as sarcasm. You're just a definite person. You just are definite, and you know what you like and you know what you don't like, and you don't mince words. That's not sarcasm. Trust the bunny. Fritzy. Okay, so I did not deal well with sarcasm because sarcazo means cutting of flesh, and I didn't like that. So I went to my doctor and I said, "Help, help!" And so he put me on a very low dose of a mood elevator, is what they're called. It's not for depression. It's just it's like the endorphins that you have in your brain already. That when you taste sugar or chocolate or whatever your favorite thing, cherries, well, raspberry jelly, and it gives you that feel good feeling. It keeps me from biting people's heads off. I'll put it that way. Oh, so I don't know what I'll be like if I don't find these, but you guys, I'll put that in the prayer book that I find them. I don't mind, and it doesn't matter. That's true. A mood stabilizer. Yeah, it's just something that keeps me going. All right. I promised to lend an ear today. So let's do this ear. Okay? I'm taking my light color, which I am using Big Twist in the colorway Camel. And you make a magic circle. You guys ready? Oh, I love Dory. Oh, I was going to see how squirrely I am today. Okay, Dory went down to Dee's and helped her go through her yarn, and they went through, I think, probably yes, 3 bags full, a throwaway, a giveaway, and a put away. We're going to start the ear up here because I don't trust that other camera, Bonnie. This stuff is called Lexapro, Lexapro, and and there's no side effects to it, which I really appreciate. Um, anyway, Dory went to Dee's and sorted through her yarn. Let me get through this before I squirrel off somewhere else. Down in oh no, I hop off somewhere else down another rabbit hole. I um she took some to give away. She put Granny D's in order for her because she's very organized, and she took some with her. And with those skeins of yarn that Dory took home with her were some unfinished projects of Dee's. And I watched Dory a couple days ago, and she's pulling this out. Here's an unfinished knitted shawl. Here's an unfinished knitted shawl. Here's an unfinished knitted shawl. Dee, you take Lexapro? See, it is. It just keeps you happy, doesn't it? But I don't mean stupid happy, giggly happy. It just keeps you pleasant. It keeps you pleasant. Oh, Bonnie. Yeah, she did. Granny's got so much stuff in her little house that Dory helped her Dory helped her with a nice clean area to go through with her chair. Susan Burke. Okay, so it just hit me funny that Granny D is sitting there knitting something else. So next year, Dory, you can come down and get those unfinished things and finish them for her. I don't know. Just hit me funny. All right, magic circle. And we're going to do, for those of you who are waiting, I'm so sorry. We're going to do a snag and 4 single crochets in the magic ring. I don't know why you guys come back. I'm so disorganized. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And then I'm going to pull the tail until I get a small circle. And then I'm going to pull the small circle. Oops, let's get this tail out of here. I'm going to pull this small circle until it closes up the big circle. And then I'm going to pull the tail until it closes up the small circle that got to be the big circle. Okay, and I'm going to put in my stitch marker, which, I use a piece of yarn. And I'm going to put 2 single crochets in each single crochet around. So we're going to wind up with 8. Oh, Sunitha, I don't know what I would do without you. Oh, Dory, there's probably a nursing home in your area, isn't there? Or you can do like Jax does and call them hugs and give them to different people, send them out to different people. 1, 2. Three, 4. 5, 6. These ears are really easy to make, even though I'm making it look hard. Excuse me. I got up just in time today to watch half of Kimmer's show. Fortune Knit with 2 T's. Not Kim Fortune. Love that girl. Then we're going to do the second row. We're going to put 2 in each of the 8. So we'll wind up with 16. Sally Stevens made one of these for her grandson. Is Sally here today? She might be on a plane. She is heading down to here to Florida to be with her grandson, and she was making one, a monkey for her grandson. He asked her. So she said, I can't go with no ears. So I jotted down the the pattern for the ears and sent it off to her so she could finish the ears and give him a complete monkey. Yep, there's another one coming through. Diana. Hello, hello, hello. My sweet sister Diana. Okay, we're doing 2 in each of the 8, making 16. And when we get to the end, we're going to do 2 rounds of 16. Just 2 rounds of 16. 1 in each for 2 rounds. And I'm going to do these a little closer so that I don't have to stretch out. I really want to start that giraffe today, but I won't until we get this monkey done because I promised people a monkey and I'm going to give them a whole monkey. Now, I am not putting, because this is a chimpanzee, I am not putting a tail on my monkey. If you want a tail, you can start out with a magic circle and 6. Actually, you could start out like you do the ears with a magic circle and 4 and then do 8 and then just continue 8 for as long as you want. Or you can start out with a magic circle and 6 and then do 6 for as long as you want your tail to be. But I'm not putting a tail on my monkey because he's a chimpanzee. Okay, I've completed my first round of 16. And you can see it's beginning to curl. I'm going to do my second round. It's supposed to curl, okay? I'm starting my second round of 16. Yeah, they're just little rounds. Little rounds of 4, 8, 16, 2 rows of 16, and then you start your decrease. Which is why they curl. All right, I've got my 2 rounds of 16, and you can see how it's curling in. You want to take that and flip it so that the right side of your ear is out. You've got your 2 rows of 16 done. That was row 3 and 4. We're going to come out to the outside, which means it's an odd row, and we're going to decrease. And how you decrease that is we increased in each of the 8 stitches to make 16. So we're going to decrease in each of the 16 stitches back to 8. So you're going to decrease in the first 2, the front loop of the first 2 stitches, making those 2 stitches 1. And then in the next 2 stitches, we're going to do a decrease we have 2 stitches. We're going to decrease in the next 2 stitches, making 3. Decrease front loop only in the next 2 stitches, making 4. We're going to decrease in the next 2 stitches, making 5. Decrease in the next 2, making 6. Decrease in the next 2 stitches, making 7. And we're going to decrease in the last 2, making 8. All right. And then I'm going to take my magic circle tail, and I'm just going to wind it around my finger and stick it inside. So the next round, we're going to decrease those 8 stitches into back to 4 like we started. So pick up the front loops of the next 2 stitches and decrease. Remember to pull your yarn tight so that you don't have too big. This is kind of tricky because you're going from 8 to 4 and you're working back in that smaller space. So be sure and keep your yarn taut. I like that word, taut. T-A-U-T, which means not tight, but just a little less than tight. Taut. Okay, and once you're down to 4 stitches, what I do is just make a single crochet, and I'm going to cut off a length of yarn, pull that the chain through, and knot. Slide my knot down. What bunny lady? All right, and pulling this out, my stitch marker, and getting a needle, I'm going to put my yarn through the eye hole of the needle, and I'm going to pick up those last 4 stitches like we do to close off the front of the nose on a Somebunny. These are all so similar. Once you learn how to do one, you can do them all. I guarantee. All right, I'm pulling that tight. Now I'm going to take this and put my finger on the front, and I'm going to flatten that. And you can see those 2 rows of 16 are right here on the edge. And then I'm going to take my needle and go through this to the front where the beginning 4 is. And then I'm going to take my needle and go through the next stitch right straight through to the back. And then I'm going to come down to the 3rd stitch and come out the front. And go through and come out the back. And going around those 4 stitches until I have that ear. You might wind up with a side that's flat. Looks like this side is flat. So that's the side I'm going to put on the monkey. And I'm going to come up from the eye, and position it. And on the head, follow where this was, all the way over here, and position it in that same ridge. And since my yarn's at the back, I'm going to connect the back. Make sure I got my ears on right. In line with the eye. And I'm just going to lay it down like that so that I can get this in the ridge and up into the stitch. And in the ridge and up in the stitch. And I'm going in the front stitches because when I turn this around and that ear sticks up, then I can come through and stitch the front. I've got these back ones stitched. Now I'm going to go to that row of 16 that we did 2 of, and I'm going to stitch the front. Excuse me, into the head and pick up a front stitch. Into the head and pick up a front stitch, and you probably only want to put 2 or 3 stitches in there to hold the ear on that flat side of the ear. That looks about right, don't you think? And then I'm going to put it through his head, and I want to come out the back one more time. Not sure what this frog is about. Bonnie, maybe I caught frogs from you. I'm going to go back in, and then I'm going to come out the back of the head and pull that yarn through. And I'm going to pull it taut, clip it off, and it's gone. And there's your ears on your monkey. Oh, the desk frog. Now, Sunitha and Bonnie, when you do those desk pets, are they like a balloon and then you stick one side up inside the other? Yes. Okay, good. Then my brain wasn't working well on that day, you know. So, all right, and I'm going to do this for you because I want you to see this. I'm going to take my monkey body and turn him over on his bum. Okay? And I want you to see let's see how I do this. Okay, I want you to see this. How this and I want you to see this, and I want you to see that, and I want you to see this, and I want you to see this, and I want you to see this. Okay, if you take a look at this, these are the 6 original stitches that we did for the in our magic circle. And we increased and increased and increased in a straight line. Okay? These stitches are all the same. The increase went here. These stitches are all the same. Whoop, 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 whoop. It's just difficult to do backwards. All the same, we increased here. So when you go to do your legs, this is a tip and a trick. When you go to do your legs, you find the front of your this is the side of your bunny. Okay, this is the side of your bunny. There's your front. You want to put your leg, and we're putting the shorter of the two. The shorter of the two is the leg. You want to put your leg. Let's see. Let me orient myself to this, and then I will show you what I'm talking about. Okay. There's the side, and here's the front. So when I turn this over, I want this to go this way to the front. And then I'm going to skip this one, and I'm going to come over here to this one. And I'm going to do this leg. Here. This is your front and your back. And these legs come out the side. So that when you do them, he sits up. You can put them on the side if you want. You can sew them here if you want. But I find if you put them on these the 6, what would that be, a hexagon? Find the center back, and then on the next two up, that's where you put them. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and sew the leg on, and you'll see that that's where the bunny feet go, that's where the giraffe feet go, that's where the bear feet go, that's where all of the feet will go. On the front. And I angled them down so that the inside edge comes just below the chain 4 of the magic circle. And you can follow that line all the way down, picking up a stitch and going through the stitch on the leg. It gives you about 6 stitches. And you should have 6 stitches on your leg. Okay, and when I get there, I like to come over here to underneath the center and do one sideways, and then I go back and do them again. Because kids, they're going to pull on the leg. They're going to grab one of those dangly things, an ear on a bunny or the leg on something, and snatch it up, and away they go. So if you want to be sure that it's not going to come off, when you get to the outside, do the same thing. Take an extra stitch in that outside. And then what I do is take my needle and go through, because this is double front and back, you go through the middle of that leg, pull it to the center, go over a stitch, and back through that leg to the other side and pull it. And then I'm going to pull it taut and clip it off. And there is my leg. Wow, that looks weird, doesn't it? But that's your monkey leg. Okay? Once you get the legs on, you can turn this upside down and put it between your knees and then figure out where your head's going to go. Okay? It's going to go right between the legs. And I have, which I'm pretty, yep, I did. I found them the other day. I was searching for medicine and found them. These are upholstery screws. And what I do is I'll set him down, make sure the head is right between. Now, I want to show you something. On this one, I followed the directions and I went in too small. And so my head's not going to sit as well on this as it normally would. I like to leave the neck opening a little bigger so that when I set the head on, this curved part of the head goes down into the neck and it helps me. It helps me position things a little bit easier. But I'm going to take an upholstery screw and hook it into the neck edge. Like that. And then set my head on straight and screw it into the neck of the head of the monkey. And that holds, well, let me do one in the back here. This holds the head on while I do the stitching. You can use straight pins. You can use your darning needles. It doesn't really matter. Whatever you need, you can if you're a sewer, you can baste it on, which just means take some big stitches through it to hold it. But that will hold that monkey's head on until I get it stitched on. So I'm going to take my yarn, thread it through my yarn needle, and stitch on this head. And you guys know how to stitch on a head. One from the body and one from the head. All the way around. And I'm not doing anything fancy. I'm just picking up a stitch and going in the next stitch. When I get to the center back, I'll take a look at it and make sure that his head's not on crooked. Because you can always adjust it. That looks pretty straight. How many are doing monkeys this morning? Collie, are you leaving? You gotta go. Zoila, how's everything at your house? Zoila has a busy house. Kitty has a busy house, although Kitty's gotten a break this week. I think her grandchildren went on vacation from school. All right, there we go. Monkey head. Now I'm going to go around a second time because, you know, those kids, they grab ears and heads and take off. And I want to be sure it doesn't come apart like my needle just came apart. You have two? Bye, Collie. Zoila's still in church. Two monkeys in progress. Ooh, Regina, you're doing well. Well, now you can finish them up because you know how. And you know, if you have any questions or have any trouble with anything, you can always give me a holler. Because you got my Gmail. Everybody's got my Gmail. All right, I think that just about does it for the head. I'm going to come out at the back of the neck and cut off that extra yarn. And then, guys, all we have to do next is the arm. And those arms are the long ones. We did the regular bunny pad, went to 18, did several rows of 18 till we got to row 7. Then we went back to 12, and we did 30 rows total for the arms, because you know monkeys' arms, chimpanzees' arms are long. They are longer than their legs. So when you go to place your arms, you're going to place, of course, one on each side. And I like to put them about two rows down from the neck and underneath the ear. So that's where I'm going to start mine. 2 rows down from the neck, and I have to turn them upside down so that I've got 2 rows to the head. And I can start at the back and pick up that first stitch. And then I'm just going to pick up a stitch and go through the top of that yarn where I closed the arm off. So I've got 6 stitches to sew the arm and the body together. Bonnie, I didn't bother with the other one. I need to check that one out on my own, that other camera, because I didn't want to mess this up. Okay, at the front, I'm going to take one through the side and into the body and back out through the arm. And then I'm going to go over the top again with a whip. I think they call it a whip stitch. Just whip it good. Who knows where that came from? Yeah, I like to do that. I have been known to put green on the bottom of a white bunny because he runs through the grass. How about that? All right, then with the arm, I do the same thing as with the leg. I go from the back to the front through the 2 layers of arm, over a stitch, and back from the front to the back of the arm, and then cut off the excess. Sorry, guys. I have a new apparatus that's really giving me fits, and it causes my throat to dry out. So, Bonnie, I'm drinking lots of clean water. to try to hydrate my throat. All right, and that, my friends, is your monkey. I still have another arm to make and another leg to make, but I wanted to finish this monkey today for those of you who are doing the monkey, because now we're going to start the giraffe. Salt and pepper. Whip it good. Devo, yeah. Oh, did Salt and Pepper do it too? You know, the only time I saw them was on a commercial for something, and they were cutting grass, and I never did figure that one out. All right, away goes the monkey. And now I have all these wonderful scraps that I can tie together. And I'm leaving about a 2-inch, 1-inch, inch and a half tail, something like that. And I'm balling them all up because I'm going to do a chicken. Because I think that chicken is adorable. It goes with all my other yarn that I've got so far. Okay. I am doing a giraffe. I showed you. I'm pretty sure I showed you. I'm doing a giraffe out of this because I think this will make a nice giraffe. And I'm going to take some dark brown. You can use black if you like. Barbara Clark, welcome, welcome, welcome. That's right, Kitty. They also used the same, either doo-wop, 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 or shoo-wop, 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 or shoo-bop, 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 shoo-bop. They just changed the letters from U to V to W. And then they didn't care. All right, giraffe. I'm using a 4.5, and I'm using this yarn has I think a little bit of wool in it. It's a hand-dyed yarn from, I think, Dawn Aaron's Loving Hands, if I'm not. What do we have in the chat? Oh, I flipped it. Okay, I'm back. You were monkeying around. All right, for those of you who are doing the giraffe, magic circle and 6. Isn't that a surprise? Well, if I can get it, I'll tell you. Snag 1, 2. You can use black if you like, or a dark color, or you want to make him a psychedelic, you can make him any color you want. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You know how to make your magic circle. This will be a crochet along and not necessarily a tutorial, okay? So because we've done these feet all along, You know how to do them. We're just doing the same feet in a different color. We're going to put 2 single crochets in each double crochet. In each 2 single crochets in each single crochet, doubling the number. See, I'm a bit anxious about not finding that medicine, and my brain is not working today. So thank you, every one of you, for your patience with me today. I know you know that I'm as ditzy as my ditzy Dory Doodles, maybe even ditzier than she is, probably ditzier than she is. I got a few years of dits on her. You know what? It doesn't matter when you guys come in because I love you just the same. Okay, we're making giraffe legs. And we're starting out just like bunny feet. 6 single crochets in a magic circle. 2 in each single crochet for the next round, making 12. And I want to make sure that I'm getting this right. Another one bites the dust. Okay. There went that extra skein of yarn. You know, when Christy does hers, I'll have to figure that out. There's got to be another way to do. I have so much yarn. Okay, then we're gonna go to what did I just read? Honestly. Did I read go to 12 or did I read go to 18? There's that brain again, guys. Okay, it says regular old legs. So this third round, I'm going to do something I never do on channel. But if you take a hard candy and you suck on it, it doesn't have to be a cough drop. It can be any hard candy. It clears up a clog in your throat. So pardon me, but I've tried to drink it away and it won't go away. So now I'll coat it. All right, so round 3, we're going to go 1 in the first stitch, 2 in the next. And that will turn our 12 into 18. Let me see a show of hands of how many are doing this. Another one bites the dust, and another one dies, and another one dies, another one bites the dust. Bonnie, I think you caught it from me. We'll get there, Regina. We're going to go to, we're going to do 8. We're going to go 18 on this third round. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, you're probably ahead of me because you were working and not talking or singing. You forget I had kids. Okay, we're going to go to row 6 with the dark. I don't like doing this, but I know you will still love me. All right, we're just going to go until we get to we finish row 6. And then you change to your giraffe color. Oh gosh, wouldn't it be cool if I made a giraffe out of, maybe make a giraffe to match the blanket? That blue menagerie? Wouldn't that be cool? I think I will. Bonnie, what do you think? Saturday in the park. I think it was the 4th of July. You know, before I married Mr. Tom, I lived in an apartment building that had 4 apartments. And the girl who lived downstairs from me was a postal person. And she had gone to a place called uh, it was a very popular place in Toledo, Ohio. I'll think of the name of it, but I can't think of it right now. And she met this fellow that was in the band. I can't think of his name either. Her name was Barbara, but she met this fellow who was in the band, and yeah, whatever. Cheeseburger? Yeah, that would be good. Thank you. Um, I can't think of his name. It doesn't really matter. You don't know him anyway. But he was from Chicago and had played. When just people get together and they play, it's not for a song or anything, a jam session or something. What do they call that? He had played with Chicago and in a couple of their sessions, and he knew their songs. And his band was, I guess you could say, a knockoff band, but they played a lot of Chicago songs with Chicago's permission, of course. Shoot, I just about had the name of the place. Anyway, Richard was his name. They played Chicago songs, and so she asked me to go with her. So I got a babysitter for my son. My sister watched him, and we went to the place. And they were very, very good. They were very good. They sounded like Chicago to me. And then she and this Richard guy fell in love. And so she had him come back and stay with her at the apartment. My apartment was upstairs. There were 4 apartments, 2 up, 2 down. And my apartment was upstairs, and hers was downstairs. And Richard came and lived with Barbara, but little did she know that the whole band moved in with her. So there were nights when I would put my son to bed, and then I would go down, and they would jam. Well, the lady in the upstairs apartment across the hall from me did not like it. And but it was something. It was fun. I enjoyed that time in my life. They were taking, and I'm not a smoker, okay, and they were in taking and smoking things that I wouldn't. But other than that, I have to tell you this funny. One of the fellas, Louis Trombino, came up to my apartment and wanted to use could he take a bath in my bathtub? I said, sure. So he took a bath, and when he was done, he came out and he sat in the living room and he sat on my couch and he watched my fish tank. And he probably sat there an hour and a half watching my fish tank. I was like, not going there. All right, when you get to row 7, that's your decrease row, remember, on the regular foot. We're going to switch to our giraffe color. That was it. Guys, I grew up so sheltered in a family of a very sheltered mother and a father who knew lots of women and wanted to make sure that his girls grew up to be ladies. My mother was a lady. By golly, we were going to be also. So I was very sheltered. And to move into that apartment and meet people from the city who were so very different from me, it was nothing short of cultural shock. I didn't know people did those things or wore those things or said those things, or I did a lot of growing up that year. All right, so we're going to decrease with our giraffe color back down to 12. I don't see Nisi here today. All right, I'm going to cut off my dark brown and tuck those tails in. And then we're just going to crochet in each stitch until we get to 30, like the monkey arms. 30 rounds. Now, you will know that on a giraffe, his back legs are shorter than his front legs. But on this giraffe, they're all 4 the same. Because our giraffe doesn't stand up, he sits down. So all 4 legs are going to be the same. So that's your homework for this week, is finishing the 4 legs. Oh, Tanya Tucker? No, she was good. Wasn't it Tanya Tucker and George Jones? Or was it George Jones and someone else that were in love but couldn't live together? Tammy Wynette and George Jones. Thank you, Leslie. Thank you very much. There was a band in Ocala, one of the holidays that they had down on the square, and it was a bunch of it was a garage band. They were called the Sons of Doctors because they were all their fathers were doctors. That was a very appropriate name. All right, this is how my foot is looking, and I'm going to go on and finish this 30 rows. Okay, now in the meantime, you guys all know how to do the body. It's the same body as the bunny. I liked Alabama, Jeanette. I liked Alabama. I like their songs. I like their music. I like the lead singer. I thought he was pretty hot guy. Okay, I'm just checking here to see what changes are in the giraffe's body. Okay, if you're doing the giraffe, stop on round 20 of the bunny body for the giraffe. All right. If you're making the giraffe body, do the bunny body, same one, 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, 42, 48, until you get to row 20, and then stop at row 20. That's when the giraffe thins out and becomes longer. So we'll do that next week. But while I got the thing open, you can do your body for next week too. Prep that, okay? You can also do your giraffe head if you would like to. The giraffe head is the same as the bunny head till you get to 42 stitches. 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, 42. That's the seven increases, 6 increases to 42. Stop when you get there. So you'll have your body and your half a body and half a head ready for next week. Oh, really? Joe Diffie, how about that? The Lennon twins? Lennon. Jeanette, I had them in the car. Theoretically, I had them in the car. I probably put them in a project bag or in a bag of some kind to bring into the house. And I don't know whether they're in my room in my cottage, and if whether I've searched the blue room. I don't know. They were still in the brown envelope with the instructions on the outside stapled. You got to meet them backstage, Dory. I am so jealous. The Lennon sisters. The Lennon sisters used to be on. Not Ed Sullivan. Who was the other guy with a one and a two and a. Yeah, the Lennon sisters were Lawrence Welk. The Lawrence Welk show. I did get to go see with Mr. Tom. I did get to go see Kenny Rogers, and I don't remember who was with him. It wasn't Dolly. It was someone else, but it was beautiful. I like Kenny Rogers. Okay, while we've got the dark out, let's do his ossicones. No, we're out of time. I have 5 minutes, and I'm not going to take it for ossicones. Okay, guys, I want to get the prayer book out today. This is Palm Sunday. This is the day that Christ went into the city, and he rode on a small donkey. And as he went into the city, people laid down palm fronds for the donkey to walk on. That was a sign of honor and privilege and majesty when you put palm fronds down for someone to walk on, so they don't have to walk on the dirt. I think those people really didn't know at the time, or maybe some did, who Christ really was, who Jesus really was. People didn't believe he was the Son of God. In fact, they they said, blasphemy, you say you're the Son of God? You know, unheard of, because there's only one, and he was it, and they didn't know it. And that's what today's all about. Remembering that the one who loves us so much gave us the words, love me with all your heart and all your soul and all your strength and all of your mind, and love your neighbor like yourself. And we heard those words and we said, that's easy, but who's my neighbor? Who's my neighbor? Do I have to love everybody? I like her and her and her, but she. And so a little bit later, God said, okay, you aren't doing well at all with my greatest commandment. Let me break it down a little bit for you. Here's 10 things I'd like you to live by, 10 guidelines. It's your choice, but I really like you to live within these 10 guidelines. Love me best. Love your neighbor. Don't lie. Don't steal. Don't cheat. Don't have anything to do with your neighbor's wife. Don't covet his things. 10 little rules to live by, some good guidelines to stay within on his path. We couldn't do it. We couldn't do it. Well, it's okay if I only work half a day on Friday and put down on my check that I worked all day. It's okay now that I'm working from home that I just do the things for 2 hours in the morning that, no, that's cheating. If you lie, you'll cheat. If you cheat, you'll steal, which is stealing from your employer. And if you steal, you'll kill. And eventually, not all in the same week, but those things are precursors to the next bad step on the way down to that hot place. So God said, I give you 10. I tried to break it down and make it easier for you, and you still didn't get it. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to send you my son, my beloved son, whom I love so much. I'm going to send him to earth in human form so that you can watch him and see how I want you to live. And know that I love you as much as I love him. And what did we do? We crucified him. We hung him on a cross like the worst scourge of the earth. They stripped him of his clothing, except for his loincloth. They hung him up. They pierced his hands with nails on that wooden cross. And when he said, I'm thirsty, they gave him vinegar to drink. And to make sure that he was dead, they stuck a spear in his side. They crucified him. We crucified him, the Son of God. It's a wonder he's still patient with us. It's a wonder he still loves us. It's a wonder he hasn't just annihilated this whole earth yet. But I want you to keep those things in mind, because God loved us so much that after we crucified his son, he made a way for us to come to him. And without next Sunday, everything else is a lie. God has the ability not only to heal, but to bring forth life from the womb and from death. He conquered death. He conquered death for our sake so that we could go and live with him. And it's my belief, my opinion, that once you are baptized, I don't care what religion you're baptized in, I don't care whether it's sprinkling or dunking or complete immersion, it doesn't really matter. It is a symbol that you have given up your sinful life and are striving to live a spiritual life. And that's what gets us to not fear death, because we've already died to our human self. And now that we're living with Christ in us. It's Christ in us that's living. I want you to think about that thought this week, because next week is Easter. It is the time when the stone was rolled away and the tomb was empty. And if you get a chance, get some crescent rolls, put a little bit of butter in there, sprinkling of cinnamon sugar, and a couple little tiny marshmallows or one big marshmallow, whatever. And then roll that crescent roll up and bake it. And when you open it up, you will see that the tomb is empty. All that's left is the oil embalming, and the spices and the sweetness that Christ is risen. And I love you all so very much. And I will see you on Wednesday